Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If we haven't met yet, I'm Dr. Greg Jones. I'm a naturopathic physician and the medical director of Innovative Wellness Center here in Phoenix, Arizona. I've spent years researching and teaching integrative therapy, specifically focusing on longevity medicine. But more importantly, for the last 6 years, I've been working directly with my patients using peptide therapies and regenerative medicine to solve complex health puzzles. Today, we're talking about a molecule that's generated a massive amount of hype in the longevity and biohacking communities. It's called Klotho. You might have seen headlines calling it a protein of youth or a cognitive booster. But if you're looking into this for your own health, I need to separate the marketing noise from the physiological reality. So today you're going to learn about what Klotho actually does in the human body, why it matters for your energy levels and your lifespan, and most importantly, the nuances that most influencers are leaving out. So first, we're going to break down exactly what Klotho is and the methodology behind its name. Second, we're going to look at the data. Why do research believe this specific protein acts as a master switch for aging and cognitive performance? And third, we're going to have a very honest discussion about the risks, the delivery challenges, and open questions you need to consider before trying this compound. So let's dive in. So let's start with the basics. What is Klotho? The name itself comes from Greek mythology. Klotho was one of the three fates. She was the one responsible for spinning the thread of life. The scientists who discovered this gene in 1997 named it that for this very literal reason. They found that when this gene was turned off or defective in mice, the thread of life was cut short. The mice aged incredibly fast. They developed arteriosclerosis, osteoporosis, and skin atrophy, and they died prematurely. But when the gene was overexpressed, meaning the body made more of it, the mice lived significantly longer. Now, biologically speaking, Klotho is an enzyme. It's primarily produced in your kidneys and to a lesser extent in your brain and thyroid. So think of Klotho as a shield that circulates in your blood. It exists in two main forms. First, there's the membrane-bound form. This sits on the surface of your cells and acts like a receptor. Specifically, it helps catch signals related to mineral metabolism. Second, there is a soluble form. This is when a piece of the protein gets cut off and floats freely in your bloodstream and cerebrospinal fluid. The soluble form is what gets us very excited in longevity medicine because it acts like a hormone. It travels around the body communicating with different organs, telling them to protect themselves against oxidative stress and inflammation. So in plain English, Klotho isn't just a vitamin or a fuel source, it's a signaling molecule that tells your body to maintain its structural integrity. This brings us to our second point. Why do we believe this holds the key to aging slower and having better energy? So if you're a biohacker or a doctor or someone interested in optimizing health, you know that aging isn't just one thing. It's a collection of damage. So one of those primary drivers of aging is phosphate toxicity. But in the modern world, we consume a lot of phosphate. It's in processed foods, it's in sodas, and it's even in meats. But when phosphate builds up in the body, it becomes toxic. It causes your arteries to calcify, essentially turning tissue into bone, and it accelerates aging across the board. And here's where Klotho shines. It works hand in hand with another hormone called FGF23 to help your kidneys excrete excess phosphate. So here's the analogy. Think of phosphate as rust accumulating on a car. Klotho is the rust-proofing agent. If your Klotho levels drop, which they naturally do as you get older, the rust starts to take over and the car breaks down faster. But it's not just about kidney health. Let's talk about energy in the brain. Recent studies have shown that Klotho helps improve insulin sensitivity. We know that insulin resistance is a major energy thief. By improving how your cells handle glucose, Klotho can theoretically help stabilize energy levels. Even more fascinating is the brain data. There was a study involving monkeys, and yes, monkey research is not human research, where a single injection of Klotho improved cognitive function. It seemed to enhance synaptic plasticity, which is the ability of your brain neurons to talk to one another. So for people complaining of brain fog or that feeling that their mental processing speed is slowed down, this is a critical pathway we need to look at. So Klotho seems to help clear the cobwebs in the neural pathways, potentially offering a buffer against neurodegenerative conditions. So on paper, that looks fascinating. It protects your arteries, it manages minerals, it improves insulin sensitivity, and it boosts brain power. However, and this is the most important part of this video, we have to talk about the reality of therapeutic application. And this brings us to point 3, the risks, the side effects, and the unknowns. And I need to be very clear here. Klotho is currently not an FDA-approved drug that you can just go pick up at a pharmacy or your local supplement store. And the biggest challenge is delivery. Klotho is a really large protein. You can't just take it as a pill because your stomach acid would digest it immediately, just like a piece of steak. It would not survive to get into your bloodstream. And this has led to a gray market of products. If you search online, you will find supplements claiming to boost Klotho. Most of these are relying on weak associations, like suggesting that because vitamin D or activated charcoal might influence Klotho expression, they're Klotho boosters. That's a massive stretch. Then there are the injectable forms being sold by research peptide companies. And here's the clinical risk of that. Because Klotho is a powerful growth factor regulator, we have to be very careful about balance. In the body, homeostasis is everything. While high Klotho is generally associated with tumor suppression, manipulating certain growth pathways artificially always carries a theoretical risk. If you push a pathway too hard in one direction, you can disrupt that delicate balance of cell replication. And last but not least, we just don't have long term human safety data on injecting recombinant Klotho protein. We have great mouse data, we have interesting primate data, but human biology is very distinct. There are also gene therapies being explored, where you actually modify your DNA to produce more Klotho. This is the frontier of medicine, but is currently experimental, expensive, and irreversible. So, as a clinician, my stance is this: we want to optimize Klotho, but we want to do it safely. Now, there are certain peptides we use in practice that can influence the upstream regulators of cell health, which may indirectly support this pathway, but I would treat the direct injection of Klotho with extreme caution until we have more human safety trials. So to wrap this up, Klotho is absolutely a key player in the longevity game. It's the gatekeeper for mental metabolism and a guardian for your brain, but it is not a magic switch you can just flip without consequences. So if you found this breakdown of Klotho helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps spread science-based longevity info to more people. And please subscribe to the channel for more high-level, evidence-driven videos on peptides, regenerative medicine, and aging smarter. And if you know someone who's exploring longevity tools and might be tempted by quick fixes, share this video with them. It's essential they understand the nuances. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.